Hello, everyone. Top of the morning to you. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Um, and thank you very much for coming and spending time with me while I drive these flowers. Hopefully, I can provide you with some tips, tricks that might help you. Just remember and know that I am not a expert at this. I am newly learning drying flowers. So this is silica gel. I got this from the Amazon. I got this from Amazon. The silica gel can be reused. It's reusable. I'll explain that as we go. I got these beautiful flowers from Walmart. Yes, Walmart. I figured if I go cheap and use these type of flowers to show you guys how to do it, then I'm not ruining the roses or other type of flowers that people ask me to dry for them. So with the silica gel, you could pretty much get, there's all kinds of different types of silica gel you can get. I like the type that I'm using because it is a very lightweight. It changes colors whenever it's getting used up. You can reuse it by putting it in the oven for, I don't know, I can't remember what, it's like 250 on 250 for an hour, and it will recharge the silica gel. So, and then I figured these flowers are going to probably be some of the easier ones to learn on. Um, I do this in a microwave, so I use microwave safe dishes. Please remember that every microwave is different, so depending on how hot your microwave runs is going to depend on whether or not, how long they would go in. With these flowers, I always like to, or anytime I get flowers, I like to put them in water with crushed aspirin because it kind of brings them back to life. And I do that right before I go to dry them because they look best that way. So, with what I'm going to do, this is my microwave dish. I'm going to put a little bit of this is brand new silica gel, never been used before. So, I'm going to put a little bit of that on the bottom, enough to cover the bottom. Then I'm going to take these flowers and I'm going to cut them off right at the start of the bulb. So right at the start of the flower, I'm going to cut them off there. I like mine not flat, flat. I like them to have a little bit of dimension. When you're drying flowers, you want to make sure that you give the petals enough silica gel underneath them to keep the petal shape that you want. So you want to support the petals. Otherwise, you're going to have very flat flowers if you don't. If you just put them in and throw the silica gel on top of them, they're going to be very flat. There's different ways that you can dry flowers. You can, lay them upside down. You can dry them with a stem in a glass. There's different ways that you can do it. I just like mine done this way. I don't really like flat flowers. I like them to have a little dimension. I'm going to try two different ways with this. I'm going to see if it makes a difference. Um, so I've got the one upside down and then I've got the other one right side up. This one I'm going to cut off at the very tip. These flowers, these little ones like this, almost look like a mom. And they're very hardy. They're very thick. So I've noticed that they dry very good, but they're very brittle when they dry. So just keep that in mind. Again, these flowers just came from Walmart. They're just practice flowers, really. I'll use them in pieces that I'll sell um, at my flea market. But other than that, these are not anything real special until I make something with them. You want to make sure that your flowers are not touching each other. You want to make sure that they're not touching the side of your dish as well. When you do microwave them, you want to put like a little shot glass of water in the microwave on the turntable with your dish. Not in your dish, but on the side with your dish. I don't know why. I haven't Googled why. It just said that you should, so I do. I usually, typically, I'm follow like instructions by the book or to the T, you know, because just feel like things get done quicker that way. So you can see here, I'm not like just throwing the silica gel on top. I'm spreading it out easily, and I'm making sure that I'm getting the silica gel around the petals where I need it to support the petals. You can manipulate flowers this way too. If you wanted your flower to be a certain shape, you can do that by the supporting your petals in the areas that you want it supported. Now this dish right here is kind of a deeper dish, so I'm going to put more than one layer of flowers in the dish. You can't do that with all of them because again you don't want them to touch each other. But for this particular video, I'm going to put a layer on top so we can see what happens. As you notice, these flowers, the white with the colors, they have been painted. They're painted flowers. The florist will spray paint over before they really open up good, and that's how they get this tip color on them. Green, I don't know if you guys know this, but green is my favorite color. What is your favorite color? I'd love to know what you guys' favorite color is. I love all colors, but green is my favorite. So my weeks have been quite hectic. My husband got in a motorcycle wreck, and my doggy passed away. My baby passed away. So it's been a pretty rough month for me. Um, so this is the type of stuff that I do to um, keep my sanity, I should say. So I just crafting just helps me not think about everything. I have my bad days and I have my good days, and when I'm feeling okay on my good days, I like to craft. So you want to fill up the silica gel, uh, totally cover the flower, fill it up all the way as high as you can go, like um, to where you at least are covering the flower. Then you shake the silica gel down so it gets down into the petals good, especially if you are doing roses or anything with a thick center. So because you want to make sure your silica gel gets down in to each petal. Now I'm going to pop this in the microwave. I'm going to pop it in for 2 minutes and 30 seconds um, and see what happens. And while that's in the microwave, we will start another dish. Mind you, once this is done microwaving for the 2 minutes and 30 seconds, then you have to wait for the dish to cool completely before you take them out. And they need to be completely cooled. So we're going to start a shallow dish right here. This silica gel has not been used. So I'm just going to do one layer in this dish, cutting the same way, cutting them off, the stem off at the very tip of the start of the flower. If you want to use the stem, you can dry them separately and then reattach them to the flower by either using florist tape, or you could try to glue them together, but in any case, you can still dry the stems separately and use the stems in your pieces. Some more of these little baby ones. I always find them where they're going to be in the the yellow. It seems like I find these in the fall all the time. So yellow and burgundy seems like what I find them in. Okay, so see how some of my flowers have fallen into the water? If that happens to you, you want to make sure that you blot the flower dry before you put it in the silica gel, because it will cause the silica gel to need to be re I don't know how to say it, recharged prematurely, so early. So you don't want that to happen. So if you have a really wet flower, you want to make sure that you blot it off on a paper towel before you put it in the silica gel, which is what I'm doing with these right now. So see, this is only is holding 4, and it's too big and too little. So it's not a very deep dish and not a very big dish for this. This would be a great dish for really, really small flowers. Again, you want to make sure that you support the petals, get underneath the petals before you start pouring over the top. That way you don't flatten out your flower, unless of course you want a flat flower, and then that's different. So I will pop that one in the microwave for 2 minutes because there's not as much in it, so I'll put it in for 2 minutes. Now this is the big dish. This dish right here will hold a lot. Again, the silica gel is a brand new silica gel, not been used. I should be able to get the rest of these flowers with this. So again, what I do is I crush up a baby aspirin and I put baby aspirin in my flower water because it seems to give flowers a little boost. And it especially works well whenever you do that right before you dry them because you help them get a pick-me-up, and they do look much fresher whenever you do that. I'm blotting them off again because they are pretty wet. They fell into my water. These yellow ones do not have any color to them. They're not artificially colored, so they will dry much nicer than the other ones. And I love yellow flowers. They they remind me of spring and they remind me of sunshine. I do not like the cold at all. So anything yellow that reminds you of sunshine is a plus. In my opinion, anyway. So I'm not going to bore you with sitting around and watching me put all of these in um, the dish. So this is what I got so far. See how I'm going in between the flowers? That's what I mean by getting the petals some support. Now I have ran out of silica gel, so I am going to use some used silica gel to finish the top of this off. So this is the first dish that we did. We're going to remove these flowers from this dish very, very carefully. I use a ladle for like a fry daddy, for like a fryer. That's what I use to sift my flowers out. And then I use a plastic bucket to put my silica gel in. A lot of times it'll catch any like flowers or petals that might fall too. So you want to start out very gently shaking your dish to get some of the silica gel off the top of the flowers. You don't want to by all means go in and just pull them out and not think about how you're going to get them out because you will break them. So, and that's especially important if you're doing a commissioned piece. You don't want to break the flowers. I use a paintbrush to brush off my excess silica gel. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm yawning occasionally. I don't know why, but I am. I'm not sure if you can hear it or not, but just in case you can, that's what's going on. So, it looks to me like 2 minutes and 30 seconds is too long. Look at how the silica gel has caked onto this flower, doesn't want to let go, and the flower has some brown in the middle where it should be white. That tells me 2 minutes and 30 seconds with brand new silica gel is too hot for my microwave. Every microwave's different, so guys, you just have to trial and error until you get it right with your microwave. And you want to try to get the silica gel off of the petals as much as possible before you put the flowers away to keep. And as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm taking the petals off of this flower because it started falling apart on me. And I can use the petals for pieces by themselves. Here's a blue one. Again, was in there too long because it is brown. Same thing. Um, 2 minutes, 30 seconds is too long with brand new silica gel. So you want to gently brush off the silica gel as much as possible. You can see it sticking to this, and that's because it got too hot. That's the conclusion that I came to, is that it was too hot. And look at how brown it is. It practically burnt the flower. So that was 2 minutes, 30 seconds. It's too hot for my microwave. I don't know what the wattage is for my microwave. It's an older microwave. So I'm not sure what the wattage is. And see how the silica gel is just caked on this pink one too. It also might have something to do with the flower being a painted flower as well. I'm not sure if that's the factor or if it's been too hot. Um, but you'll see in the next batch that the 2 minute batch comes out much better. But look, this is not supposed to be stuck onto flowers like this, so not even supposed to be stuck onto flowers like that. Here's the green flower, and it was too long because you can see how brown it is too. Trial and error, people. I'm got to do the same thing everybody else has to do. Have to make mistakes. So I'm going to leave you with some music while I uncover the rest of these flowers for you and for me. Please like and subscribe and share my channel if you enjoy my content. It definitely does help me out a lot. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we got here. So, if you remember correctly, partway through, um, I had to change. So I had to use silica gel for the top of that last dish that we did. So I think that it actually turned out better than the first two batches. So let's take a look. So these up here at the top were done with the full unused brand new silica gel for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Way too hot. Way too hot. And they got too hot. That's why they got brown. So what I do with these is I will take the petals apart, take them off, and I will still use the petals in maybe an angel wing or something like that. So it's still usable. You can still use them, but too hot, and I would not put these in a piece um, that is going to be like clear and everybody's going to be able to see it. I would not do that. I wouldn't put them in that type of piece. But for an angel wing, these petals would work really well. The other petals, the ones that did not get brown but still was in kind of long, the silica gel stuck to them pretty bad, which that is an indication that it also got too hot. The silica gel, I feel like that silica gel like melted kind of to the petals, and that's not what we want, obviously. I mean, you can see how the silica gel is still like really prevalent on these petals. Even on the pink one right here, and it could be because it's painted, I'm not sure. But it didn't seem to do that to the yellows. I mean, they turned out pretty. I won't use them all. And see how this one has that brown circle? That's the one that I turned upside down. So you would probably better off not going upside down. You want to go, with the petal facing or with the flower facing up. Because that was the upside down flower and it didn't turn out very good. So it's got that spot in it, and I won't use it with a spot in it like that. These little mum looking flowers are always really hardy. They dry good, but they are fragile. So you want to make sure that you handle them with very delicate care because they are fragile. If you go to brush them off, you want to brush them off with a very small, tiny, fluffy brush, not anything, not a hard brush. But these work really well in pieces. Whenever you do one of your resin pours, they work really well in them. Now, these over here, these turned out really nice. These are usable, and these only were in for 2 minutes. And the bottom layer was fresh, brand new silica gel, and the top layer was used silica gel. So if you have a silica gel that has kind of been used and needs to be refreshened, it will take a little bit longer to dry your flowers. But these turned out really pretty, and they are usable. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any tips for me on drying flowers, you're welcome to leave them in the comments. I would appreciate any type of tips that you can give me that might quicken my journey of flower drying. But thank you guys for watching so much. I really enjoy spending my time with you and doing crafts like this. So have a great day. Bye.